YouTube, it's your girl Razia J, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time landing on my channel, seeing my face, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. And if you have been rocking with Ray, thank you so much for your continual support. It means the world to me. On this channel, it's where faith, family, and social work intersect. I am a believer, military spouse, mom of two, and macro social worker. And on this channel, we talk a lot about who I am as a person, the profession that I'm a part of, and how I navigate being a military spouse to my amazing Army husband. So if any of those things are of interest to you, consider joining the tribe and hitting the subscribe button and joining the tribe. And if you have been watching for a while, I'm going to encourage you to look down below and make sure that you are subscribed, because many of you watch and y'all forget to subscribe. But this year, 2024, we're subscribing. It's free 99, and everyone that watches should subscribe. This video is all about, as you can see from my title, about just really pivoting. I have been getting a lot of questions over the last few months about how I entered into the macro profession as a social worker, or I should say the macro space, and what encouragement or tools or tips I have for social workers that are considering pivoting. I want to start this out by saying that I entered into macro social work as a bachelor's student. I knew very early on in my academic journey that your girl was not about to be in nobody's therapy office. And I remember distinctively being in a social work practice class and watching Precious and knowing, yeah, that is not for me. I'm good on it. But also going to my advisor at that time and my now mentor and asking her, what can I do with the degree in social work if I don't want to be clinical? And she gave me a laundry list of things, and I knew that I would find my way outside of the micro space, and I decided to continue on with my education. My first internship was in a education curriculum, CEU development type of space where I was building and helping with curriculum development for CEUs for dementia patients and family caregivers and social workers and case managers. So a lot of program development. My second internship was at the NASW New Jersey chapter, where I focused on policy, advocacy, and conference planning. And now I am currently an engagement coordinator. My role, in short, is I scout for engagement. I look for speakers. I look for people with potential to put on programs, and I have conversations with them where I explore if they are a good fit for our organization and how we can partner to do CEUs, student programs, conferences, proposals, and how I can get them in front of audiences, because I see them as a potential powerhouse in the profession. Those that are considering pivoting from micro to macro social work, the first thing I want you to do is look at your resume, look at your CV, and ask yourself, what skill sets do I already have? Once you identify those skill sets, it's very easy for you to pull out those transferable skill sets and say, these are some skills that can transfer well. So if you are good at doing assessments and figuring out what a presenting problem for a client is, then you will be really good at identifying what policies should be implemented or where there are gaps in policies to push legislation. So the reason why I'm giving this example is so that you can look at your resume and see, okay, I have this clinical skill. How can I tailor it and make it sound more macro and policy based, right? The next thing you can do if you feel like, okay, I have these skills, but I don't know how to pivot them, I would recommend taking a certificate course, right? There are courses on Coursera, eCornell, LinkedIn. So I am currently certified in diversity, equity, and inclusion, but I am looking to become a Sigma 6 green belt. I say all of this to say, get certifications. Another way to pivot into macro social work is to just simply apply for the jobs. I know a lot of times we don't want to apply for jobs because we feel like we don't have the credentials or we don't have the qualifications or someone else that's more experienced is going to get the job. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't apply for a job, you will never know what we are looking for on the macro side to tailor your resume. Even if you apply for a job and you get an interview and you don't get the job. You now know what type of questions are being asked from these type of employers so that you can prepare your answers for the next interview. I say this all the time, getting a job and acing an interview is a skill. And as social workers, sometimes we have to take ourselves outside of the interviewer position and into the interviewee space so that we can build that skill. And another thing you can do if you want to get into the macro space, connect with macro social workers and ask them, are there any projects that you're working on? Do you know any job opportunities that are looking? Do you know someone that is hiring right now that is looking for an entry-level position? You're not really, I believe, from what I have seen in my experience, going to get a cut in pay coming to the macro side. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get a little bit more money because the work is more administrative and less clinical. Think outside the box, apply for jobs. Don't look for jobs that are social work specific. Look for jobs that speak to the person you are today and the skills that you have right now that you can amplify on an application and a resume and an interview. This is really the short end of how I believe you can pivot to macro social work today if you are interested. So thank you for hanging with me, and I will see you in another video. Bye.